6 months ago, I was introduced to the Resin 3D printer that was supposed to end the game forever. That's this machine right here. I might be 6 months late to the game, but here we are. All the rumors about the Uniformation GKTwo are completely and entirely true, and in this video today, I'm going to be telling you 3 reasons why this is going to be the last Resin 3D printer you will ever need to purchase. I'm going to cover those 3 topics in order of increasing excitement, so make sure you stick around to the end of the video. To start out, I'm going to be talking about the screen on the GK2, and it is by far the best screen I have ever used on any 3D printer. It's better than my Snapmaker A250, it's better than my Creality K1, it is even better than the Bamboo Lab X1 Carbon. This screen is incredible. Talking about the screen on a 3D printer seems to be a recurring theme here on the Print House, and that's because the screen, it is an incredibly important part of my printing experience. The UI on a printer is going to be the only way that you can actually interface with the machine, so for me, that integration has to be seamless. So the thing that stands out to me the most is going to be the flawless English translations. And poor English translations won't inherently pull me away from a printer. However, good English translations definitely is going to pin the machine as a very premium product. So the next thought that I have is going to play into the previous one, and that's going to be the genius menu navigation. So along with being able to understand what the text labels mean, the menu navigation was clearly well thought out and planned before it was ever implemented. And I know that because all of the heavy use features are up front with fewer screen taps, and the options that you're going to be using less often, they're towards the back of the menu that require more screen taps. And the last thing that I want to mention about the screen on the GK2 is that it is just truly fluid. Moving between menu systems, it feels like you're working with an iPhone or a top-tier Android phone. In my time working with a GK2, it has quite literally not even a single time stuttered when I clicked a button or slid to a different menu. So if you've been with the channel for a while, you'll know that the shelf presence of a 3D printer is very, very important to me. And so with its all aluminum housing, the GK2, it really does look like a work of art. The GK2, it's beautiful, it's immaculate, and it actually contributes to more of an uplifting environment, whereas a printer like one from the Ender series or some other FDM bed slinger, it really kind of just feels like a high school science project and makes more of a cluttered environment feeling. So another feature about the design of the GK2 that I feel compelled to mention is going to be the tactile, front-facing, heavyweight power button. That's a lot to take in, and it sounds really, really silly for me to even begin to mention, but having a power button instead of a switch just leads to, again, a very premium feeling product. Pretty much every other 3D printer I've used has a cheap feeling power switch connected directly into the power supply, and I don't like that, so having a very nice premium feeling button on the front of the machine that's easy to access just brings to the uplifting overall feeling of the GK2. 3D printers are the only consumer grade product that I own that I can think of that operate power with a switch connected directly to the power supply. This button is so good, I highly recommend every other 3D printing manufacturer look at Uniformation and take a note from this directly.
Now what if you don't have time to print your own models? That is where the sponsor of today's video comes into play. PCBWay specials in high quality 3D printing at an affordable price. A basic 32mm miniature can cost as low as only $4, and they can also add a variety of surface finishes to your model. But if you have other jobs that need to be 3D printed, they can also print in PEEK, ASA, stainless steel, and even titanium. And in order to provide the highest quality service, PCBWay is going to actually perform a full model analysis of the file you upload. That's going to ensure when your print arrives, it will be exactly as you envisioned it. PCBWay helps support the channel, and it would go a long way if you checked out the link in the description. Thanks again to PCBWay for sponsoring this video.
Now, of course, I have saved my absolute favorite bits about the GK2 for last. So let's get into it. Pretty much everything I have to mention here deals exactly with the build surface. This is not some thick, sturdy, strong, solid piece of milled aluminum. In fact, I'm not exactly sure what the construction method and the build materials are. Of course, there are plastic and aluminum in this build plate, but I'm not sure what else might be contained on the inside. To start, this thing has the world's easiest build plate removal as compared to any other printer I've used. The plate slides onto a thick rail system, and then a super strong spring operated lever clamps down onto the plate in order to keep it from moving. This lever actuation is quite literally the most premium feeling and sensory stimulating action that I believe I could perform on any 3D printer that I own. Honestly, there's no way to explain how good this lever feels. It's just something that you need to experience for yourself. There's also an explicitly designed handle on the build plate, and this feature is just remarkable because I can't tell you how many times I have moved my hands in all weird ways to grab the build plate in order to not get a particular part of it messy or in order to not drip resin everywhere. And while we're talking about messy and resin drips, well, the next feature deals exactly with that as well. The GK2 implements a small, shallow cavity all around the entire build plate. The purpose of this design is to prevent dripping of resin on the surface below whenever you pull the plate off of the printer and then flip it over in order to walk over to your next work surface or to walk over to your wash and cure station. So besides the things that I've already mentioned in this video, the GK2 without a doubt lives up to the hype from everyone else that you've seen post about this thing on the internet. I truly struggle to find a single issue with this GK2. If you want to learn more about the GK2, guys, check the link that I have in the description below, and I also have another video with some more specifications on this printer. It'll be uploaded in about a week's time. And wow, would you look at the time? I think that it might be time for you to hit the subscribe button, because why not?